Hi, hello! So the brand new Tribal Maze event has now begun in Dragon City, and today I will be showing you the costs for each path and realistically what you can get from this maze event by, logging in, doing your resets and being a free-to-play player, and also playing the upcoming puzzle event. So Dragifruit is the main reward dragon from this event. He's the new dragon, he's part of the current collection. He's got some nice elements on him, I will say, but this is an 11-day long event and there are tons of paths that you can go down. So it is much better to have a plan in action and save your currency so you know exactly what you can afford. One thing that I will point out, however, is that this maze event is slightly different to usual because we typically have a runner event in this event. Because these 11-day long mazes, we usually have a runner event that comes along with them to give us extra currency. This time, however, is not going to have a runner event because we're probably getting that new heroic race. But you'll see that this blue path here for Supernova was the one that would have been the flight stamps path, but instead this has now been turned into basically a food and misc chest items path. But anyway, just to go through all of this stuff as a whole to get all of these different dragons, how much currency are you actually going to need? Well, I have put all of this together and this is posted in the DC Event Guys channel on my Discord server if you ever want to recheck. But just to go from start to finish, you can get 19,800 currency from all resets in this event. So that's 6,000 from the puzzle event, that's the currency from the resets, the quest currency of 500, not including ads, you can probably get about 26,300 currency. Including ads, you can get probably way over 30,000 depending on how lucky you get. Now, the dragon costs themselves, you can see here, they're also on Ditlap, but the new Dragifruit dragon is 9,895, Pettalion is 9,500, White Rose is 28,900, Viktor, which is the Keys Path dragon, is 24,970, Precious, being the Puzzle Moves Path dragon, 2,590, Jamaican, which is a Food Path dragon, is 7,850, and Supernova, which, as I just explained, is now a Food Path, is 5,300. So I have given a little example of a path that you could use. So we've got Dragifruit plus Pettalion plus Precious, and Supernova is 27,285, which should be doable if you do all of the puzzle and you do all resets and you watch ads. Or you can go for Dragifruit plus Supernova plus Jamaican plus Precious, for example, which is 25,635, which would be doable even if you don't have ads working. Now, alternatively, you could go down the Viktor path, which is the Keys path, which means you need to access every single path before that, but that will pretty much eat up all of your currency, more or less, unless, again, you get lucky with ads. But the thing is, the Viktor path, which is the Keys path, is one of the main paths in these long events, because, Keys path, the reason why people go down the Keys paths generally is because these ones typically have the most event chests in them. And so you'll see that there is one even on Viktor's path himself, but it's all of the prior paths combined, where you go down the prior paths, you pick up the items, the event chests, like the tribal chests, and usually you'll get most of the tribal chests that you can from going through the Keys path and then going to the start of the other path. So for example, on the Precious path, we've got mostly puzzle moves, but there is also a tribal chest on this one for actually quite cheap. And I believe that this is also the case for a couple of the others as well. So what you can do is you could say, open up this Ditlap website if you want to super sweat, and you could work out which one is going to give you the cheapest tribal chest. Because you'll see that on the Supernova path, there is a tribal chest for 1,000 currency. On the Precious path, there is another tribal chest for 1,500 currency. On the Dragifruit path, it's at 500, so that's another really, really cheap one that you can get your hands on. Next one isn't until 7,000, so you just pick up the first one. Pettalion, there is another tribal chest at 500. So realistically, you would say finish the Viktor path or get all the chests that you can from that one for cheap. Then you'd go down the Dragifruit path, then you'd go down the Pettalion path, and then you'd do Supernova and Precious, for example, just as an example of what you could do. The food paths, like for Jamaican, this one, it will give you the most food guaranteed because there is an XL banquet box, which means you will always get at least that set amount of food minimum, but there is only one tribal chest down that path, so that is quite the expensive path for a singular tribal chest, so I don't really recommend that one if you're going exclusively for tribal chests. If you don't care about tribal chests like myself, then shouldn't really matter to you too much about worrying about the other paths. I mainly just care about Dragifruit because, like I said, he's currently part of one of the collections, mainly this one down here. If you get Water Melee, Dragifruit, and the Puzzle Event Dragon, then we can get our hands on the Mythical. That's the only part of the collection I care about. But if you are going for the tribal chest, then you will need some good luck on your drops, and you're also going to need as many chests as you possibly can. So keep that in mind when you are going through this maze event. And oh my goodness, I love the fact that it's a big turtle. Don't you just love it? Oh, he's so cute. But definitely make sure that you are doing your quests because, again, it's just free currency. There is a tribal chest at the end, but chances of you finishing this off, unless you have, like, the most rigid schedule ever, is very, very unlikely. And then, of course, we have ads, which could either be absolutely huge or could not give you very much. But if you get 1,000 drops on this currency, you can do quite well for yourself, especially over these long maze events. So definitely be watching these ads. Maybe you'll even get corrupted nature. Yeah, it's probably not going to happen, but could happen. Of course, this is going to be Big Fragment Karma Do or Die Day. I've already done my run. I've died, so that's not of interest to me. But that is going on. Of course, we've currently got the Alliance chest going on as well. But do not forget that we will have Puzzle Event coming tomorrow. So since we have Puzzle Event coming tomorrow, now would be the best time to start preparing for it. And so what I mean by that is in your farms, this would be a great time to, say, put in your one-day foods, your 12-hour foods for some of it, because then when the actual puzzle event begins, you will be ready in time to immediately get some of the quests done. So definitely make sure you are prepared. Same with your hatchery and your breeding den. Make sure that you have your slots empty so that you can get puzzle moves in this, because again, we're going to have breeding quests, we're going to have, you know, collecting food quests, league quests, stuff like that. So make sure that you are prepared for the upcoming puzzle event if you want to maximize the amount of stuff you get. And again, there's tribal chests in this, there is maze currency in this as well. And then we've got the big baddie of that upcoming heroic race coming up after all of this stuff is done. So yeah, it's going to be a busy time going after this maze event, really. So yes, get prepared for everything, and hopefully you know exactly what you can get out of this maze event at the end, because you can save your currency. Although, you know, we've got Food Path, which is available in 4 days' time. We've got Precious Path, which becomes available tomorrow when the puzzle event begins. And then Dragifruit only becomes available after 10 days. So you have to save your currency for him anyway. But generally, it is better to save your currency so that you know exactly what you can afford. But, you know, you could also just spend it straight away if you are just really, really eager for whatever reason. But anyway, that should be mostly everything in that you need to know about this new Tribal Maze event. I do wish you the best of luck and, you know, have fun, I guess.